Hello and welcome everyone, I am Madals and welcome to another Heart of the Swarm beta game. Today we have got a PvT coming up. It's going to be on Cloud Kingdom, so let me introduce these two players. In the lower left position, playing as the red Protoss, for Team Dignitas, it is dBlinG. And his opponent, who is in the top right, blue Terran, plays for Team Mouse Esports, it is HeroMarine. And that means that it was from HeroMarine's replay pack, so we'll wait to see whether he wins or not, but I know that I've cast a couple of his games where he's lost, so he's not one of those annoying players who only uploads replay packs of themselves winning. And of course dBlinG is a solid player, he's been doing really well in Heart of the Swarm for himself. Really he's been on a run, and for a little bit of history of dBlinG, just very brief history, is he really the first time I met him was at I-46 in Telford, England. And he got into the finals of that event, and he was up against teammate Johnny Rico, and he didn't do too well there. And following on from that, he took a bit of a break from StarCraft as a whole, took some time out, didn't feel comfortable with the balance of PvZ, and then he came back for I-47, which was the first ESET UK Masters, and he won it. He was just like, yeah, I'm gonna go for this, and he did. And since then, he has just been on a steamroll. He's attended Home Story Cup. He's just generally been playing well, been streaming lots, really solid, and seems to be getting on very well with Heart of the Swarm. So I'm hoping to see that continue. He's already qualified for the ESET Round 2, or second of Season 1 in 2013, because he was the winner of the first event. So obviously we haven't seen him in any of the qualifiers yet, but hopefully we will be seeing him at the main event, and he will have a lot to show us. But this is a little taster. I like dBlinG, he's a cool guy, and his mum is really cool as well. So, what we've got so far for HeroMarine is we've got the gas down, we've got the racks down. So are we going to see Reapers? That's a possibility. I don't believe this was played on patch 13 for the beta, so I don't think Widowmine's one-shot Zealot and Stalker, but I could be wrong on that, however. Meanwhile, looking down here for dBlinG, he's just getting up the gate, gas and cybercore, leaving all of his options open, not committing to anything yet, so it's going to be very difficult to read what they could be doing. The Reaper is now though on its way out. Cloud Kingdom does have this huge area of cliff that you can very effectively try to utilize with Reapers to get in the base, but it depends on once the Stalker comes out. If the Stalker's chrono boosted out, then you're not going to have too much of a tough time dealing with the Reaper harassment. You're going to be able to snipe it off very quickly and very easily. But because they are so quick, and it's just difficult, you can micro them very effectively, basically, is what it comes down to. So, with nothing else following this up, but still 100 gas sitting here, I'm interested to see what HeroMarine's going to do, and he's actually chucking down a tech lab, as well as getting down the command center, so maybe an early stim timing, we'll wait to see, but for the moment we've got this Reaper marching its way, or not even marching, floating his way, because they do kind of float, they just go really fast, over to dBlinG's base, who is getting up his Nexus, so we're going to see more of a macro game here now, neither player going for any super early aggression, and for the moment HeroMarine, just waiting, just trying to get a comfortable spot. This single Marine, though, could be in a bit of trouble because there is a Zealot and Stalker on its way over, and that means that a single Marine is not going to be able to hold that. Will be forced to run back. That supply depot is going to have to go up fairly pronto, and it doesn't get up. The Zealot does manage to make it in. And this is now a bit of a problem, but luckily the Marauder is there. A couple of SCVs getting pulled in order just to soak up the damage, but that Zealot getting one kill already, probably going to get two unless there's some good micro, and indeed, good micro does occur. The Stalker chipping away at the supply depot. Meanwhile, this Reaper is not going to have any luck. There's a Stalker here for dBlinG, going to chase it down, who's already there waiting on the cliff, pulling some probes. That's a bit of lost mining time though, so even though it's not killing any workers, it's delaying mining time, that many probes just going off mining for a couple of seconds is gonna be a notable amount of minerals lost. So this Reaper just checking the Nexus, sees it's there, knows precisely what his opponent's doing. Of course, dBlinG with the Zealot did get a good read, saw the command center coming down, saw the tech lab, doesn't know what's being researched, but it is stim. So it's a very early stim timing, following up with two more barracks. No second gas yet though. So this could be just a very marine heavy push, we'll have to wait to find out, but all in all, this is coming together nicely. We've got the War Prism here for dBlinG, so could be going for some harassment play, getting off the second gateway now. And 2 gates with the War Prism is going to allow him to go for a little bit of drop play, get in through this dead space towards the main base, potentially deal some good damage to the mineral line. But for the time being, they're both now just about to get up onto equal bases. Work account wise, dBlinG is obviously ahead. Mules will level that out slightly, so it does even with the mules, you're still going to be slightly ahead with 33 to 26 workers, especially on the gas income. But this is really interesting. bLiNG is now getting up his mothership core. He's also getting his warp prism loaded up with some stalkers and sentries. So what is he going to do with this? It's going to be quite a powerful push, and with no bunker down and only a handful of units, this is going to be a little bit awkward potentially for Marine to deal with. So HeroMarine, he's just got to really identify this. It's going to be a 4-gate warp prism aggression. The mothership core still here defensively. That's going to help indeed should anything come in aside from a very sizable push. And I don't know if the warp prism was spotted. Clearly it wasn't. So HeroMarine is moving out. This means that his mineral line is going to take so much damage. In come the stalkers and the sentries, but we can see straight away HeroMarine pulling back. Instant reactions, but he's committing to this push. He's still running across the map. He still wants to go and do some damage because he's thinking that, hey, if bLiNG has sent over 2 stalkers and 2 sentries to my main base, he's not going to have much back at home. And indeed he doesn't. He's just warping in some more units now. He sees the Reaper. That mothership core does have enough energy for a photon charge, overcharge very shortly, only 8 energy away, and that's going to be really important. But if it gets sniped off, it's not going to be able to do it. bLiNG time warping is the only thing he can do. The mothership core goes down. There's just these 2 stalkers here desperately trying to engage. bLiNG pulling all of the probes. He needs to try and deal with this push as quickly as he can. The warp prism just sitting there for the time being. Those small units getting morphed in, and my goodness, HeroMarine killed a lot of workers there. 19 have gone down. We've got 3 stalkers warping in, trying to focus down the marauders. Concussive shell is not researched, but Stim is, and that is what is allowing these Marines and marauders to deal just so much damage. bLiNG though, with that Zealot out, with those 2 Marauders very low on health, should be able to put an end to it. The Warp Prism, though, was taken out behind this during all the action. Or, no, actually it wasn't. It's still up there. I do apologise. So, the Warp Prism is still being threatening, but not going to be able to do too much more. That Stalker will finally pick off the final Marauder. But what does that take the all-important work count to? 40 SCVs to just 28 probes for bLiNG. With mules, that puts HeroMarine a long way ahead. bLiNG has got to do some serious damage very quickly. 1 stalker getting picked up and dropped micro. That is good control. Very nicely done by bLiNG there. Does lose 1 stalker in the end, but he's keeping his opponent pinned back, and that's what he needs to do, because bLiNG now desperately needs to re-macro up, get more workers out, try and get his economy going. But we can see HeroMarine with his 3rd command center nearly complete, with the additional barracks coming down, with the starport and first medevacs popping, with the double upgrades about to start, is in a solid position. bLiNG though, he does have double upgrades of his own on its way. bLiNG is very good at TVP, so especially in the later games, he's very solid. So as a result, I'm still thinking bLiNG is in this. He's lost a lot of workers admittedly, and 21 at this stage of the game is pretty huge, but he's only 10 behind. And as long as his tech is good, and as long as he has some good engagements, and really identifies that this 3rd command center is on its way down, he should be able to come back from this. But HeroMarine, he's slightly ahead at the moment, especially with just the fact that he's got those medevacs coming out. He's also built these missile turrets, which is a really smart move after seeing the drop harassment. And bLiNG is going for the fabled, if behind, Dark Shrine. There's no missile turret at the natural, which means that actually there is no detection bar scans, and bLiNG can see that with this observer. So DTs are a good idea. Should it go wrong as well, should the DTs not be too effective, you can always transition into Zealot Archon. If we see here, the charge has not yet been researched, but it probably will do shortly. A hallucinated Phoenix coming in just to get some more information. The mothership core is getting chrono boosted out, as we can see, after it was taken down in that first push. But this is a very sizable force moving across. It's a scary looking army. The 2 medevacs may not seem like much, but that's a lot of healing potential. Stim is finished as well. The hallucinated Phoenix is going to come in and get a good read off on everything that HeroMarine has, and now bLiNG should be fairly confident in what he needs to deal with. So he isn't aware that this push is coming across quite yet. 1-1 is still 50 seconds away. HeroMarine might delay the push to deal with that, but this observer could be absolutely critical. This could allow bLiNG to scout this coming and allow him to get up into a defensive position, but it all comes down to, can bLiNG hold? He's got a small amount of gateway only units, and he's up against Stim Marine Marauders. The double medevac drop loaded up, going into the main base, boosting straight up in there, and now bLiNG has to defend on 2 fronts. There's only a few units going into the natural, but it could be enough. DTs though, warping in. A scan has already been used at the natural, so I don't believe there's enough energy to scan again, so bLiNG is going to be able to hold this for the time being. The Stalker's trying to come underneath. Will they manage to get a medevac? No is the answer with that boost away, but the War Prism coming in towards the 3rd. A missile turret coming down at the moment for HeroMarine, but if the DT takes it out in time, then to be honest, he should be absolutely fine to start chipping away at everything. But detection still granted from that missile turret up on the high ground. Bling is going to be frustrated at that. The medevacs have got back, the units are back to defend, and therefore Bling's harassment attempt is going to be unsuccessful. Now, it's worth noting that Bling is taking his own third base at the moment, but it's a long way behind. And look at this, 75 SCVs plus 3 mules against 53 probes. To give you an idea, if we bring the income tab up, we can see that over 1,000 more minerals being mined a minute. And while at the moment the gas is pretty equal, that it's about 200 ahead. So for HeroMarine, now he's got those additional 2 geysers up and running. So when we're looking at it that way, actually, HeroMarine is in a solid spot. Upgrades, is Bling ahead there? Yes, for the time being. He's got 3-3 on the way as well, so he should stay ahead for the majority of the mid-game. But both players with the double upgrades, the Ghost Academy coming down, ready just to deal with the Archons should they be coming out. Bling hasn't got no sign of taking up 2 Colossi yet, but he does have the robotics facility out, so he just needs a robotics bay in order to start that and really force HeroMarine to potentially start getting out some Vikings. But instead, going for the Templar Archives, and considering that the Ghost Academy is already down, that actually means that HeroMarine is in an ace position in order to deal with a lot of this. So, what are you going to do if you are Bling? The problem is you're a long way behind. You're definitely the underdog in this game for the moment. So HeroMarine, he needs to just play safe. He doesn't want to have a bad engagement. That push which came in there, he did get out with most of his units surviving, but of course he's still at half the resources lost to Bling. Moving across the map now, gonna potentially time this with 2-2 upgrades kicking in that will level out the upgrades with Stim, with Medevacs, with Marines, with Marauders. You are gonna crush this force. Charge is, I believe, done, so those Zealots are gonna be a bit more effective. There goes down a scan, gets a look at the army. That's HeroMarine saying, actually, can I take this? And the answer, I believe, is yes. HeroMarine dealing with some of those Zealots, which of course those force fields may have trapped some units, but they prevent the Zealots from engaging as well. HeroMarine did a good little bit of damage there. It wasn't a huge amount, and what he needs to be cautious of is not going all in. He doesn't want to get a bad engagement while he's ahead, but look at that supply difference, 194 to 135. 60 supply advantage for HeroMarine. That is absolutely massive, but Defender's advantage does come into play. Storm is still quite a long way from complete, and Bling was going to try and take a risky force, but is not going to get that down. Does see it though before it came out, because that could have got insta-sniped before a counter could go down, which would have been very tough. But a couple of Stims force, which is not ideal, but HeroMarine is just being held back by those forces for the time being. Bling just buying time for Psionic Storm to complete, and it has now done, which means that this infantry now has to deal with a splash from these 3 High Templar. So, with the 4th command center nearly complete, with the drop coming in down the back, this is going to force the trigger of the engagement. The Storms, 1 EMP goes down, but it only gets one of the High Templars. Some snipers trying to go off here. The drop, though, is dealing some really great damage, and for the moment HeroMarine just happy to pull back. He doesn't want to engage too hard because he knows he is absolutely annihilating the main base. Some DTs are warped in, but where is the scan? It's oh so desperate. The scan instead going at the 3rd. A Storm does hit, a 2nd Storm, a 3rd Storm, but HeroMarine just managing to get most of his units out of that, and Bling is left with nothing to defend. 100 supply behind now. There is the GG, and indeed HeroMarine had a very good game there. Bling, he fought valiantly, but in the end it was just too much with that nice double drop into the main base while simultaneously pushing the 3rd. So really impressive play. I thoroughly enjoyed that match, and I really hope you all did too. Remember, like the video, leave a cool comment and subscribe, and I hope to see each and every one of you tomorrow for yet another new cast. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.